Welcome back, everybody, to the morning walk. Good morning. Somebody cop. Welcome to the morning walk. Yeah, you know what? It's so cool. You go out for your walk, you don't have to worry. You know, there's fellows coming by on their bicycles and motorcycles. Everybody's willing to say hello and throw a smile your way. And, you know, it's just a wonderful, peaceful life here. It does have its stresses. And it does, of course, it has some drawbacks. But I think the pros absolutely outweigh the cons. You know, safety. We can talk about safety. Here's something coming up right now. Now, in America, if you had a tree across the road or blocking the road or possibly in the way of somebody traveling on the white line trying to get home during a night after, you know, a little socialization, you would put cones down there, up there, up there. It's not how they do it here. That's a cone that is almost unheard of, having one on the side of the road or on the road where there's an obstacle. What they do, let's say if your car breaks down right there, getting ready to turn in here, bang, engine blows, whatever, you're stranded. You push the car off to the side the best you can. It's still sticking out into the street because, well, the farms go right up to the edge of the asphalt, so there's no extra. How do you warn people that your truck is disabled? Well, this handy dandy tree that grows on the side of the road here, you just take a branch of that, break it off, and toss it behind the rear wheel of your vehicle. And that is considered warning. They do the same darn thing when they're working on the roads. You'll be traveling along at 120 kilometers an hour and all of a sudden, bang, there's workers right in front of you. Because there's no warning. Warning would take time. Warning would take materials. You have to have cones, you have to have whatever. Safety is just not the main concern. You know, I've heard of people saying, oh yeah, well, my baby drowned in the pool. Such a sad thing, but no worries, we can make another. That's just, I'm flabbergasted by that. But I heard that from somebody. So, it's just a different way of thinking. I'm not saying it's right, not saying it's wrong, I'm just saying it's different. Very different than Western thinking. And why is it that some things you would find to be sort of a blessing and some you just it drives you insane? Well, regulations. You're not overly regulated here. You do what you do and you hope that you're doing it correctly and without failure because it's not regulated. And that goes for a lot of things that are not regulated. There's no such thing as a traffic stop here. Local law enforcement doesn't stop you. What they do is they set up roadblocks. And they may or may not have a camera a quarter mile up the road that has already caught you speeding. And you're going to go through the roadblock.
Hello, David.
Oh, hello, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good, good. Getting your gardening done?
Yeah.
Oh, very good. Looks good. What are you growing? For the cow?
Now?
Is this for the cow?
Yeah.
This is the grass for the cow?
Yeah.
Oh, we had a little bit, not too much.
Yeah. I go home. Go home.
Yes, yes.
Home. Home, baby.
Ah, yes, okay.
Yeah. Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
So there you go. I mean, how much nicer can you get than that? You know, Somebody says hello, I'm busy doing my gardening, I've got a minute to say hello to you, give you a smile, and say, okay, I got to go back to work. Perfect. It's wonderful. It is wonderful. So I do a 30-minute walk after breakfast. I try to get that in almost every day. I do take Sundays off and spend Sundays working on videos, which I haven't done in a while because I've been in America and things have been in a bit of turmoil. So anyway, back to the good and bad about living here. Like I said, the good far outweighs the bad. Regulations, not so much. You don't have OSHA coming by and making sure that your roofers are tethered and they're wearing appropriate footwear, because before it gets too hot in the day, bare feet are the norm. Flip-flops in the afternoon to protect your feet from the hot metal when you're putting the roof on. First thing that comes off of a saw is any protective equipment it might have been sold with, because how can you cut properly if you can't see what you're doing? You know, people here don't go to school to learn a trade. They do it because it's been passed down, or they've learned it on their own. And you have one guy in the village that'll be the woodcutter, makes the tables. Another guy in the village is the plumber. Another guy in the village is the roofer. You know, so if something happens in the village and you need a hand, there's always somebody to help you out the best they can. And that's, some people may consider that a con of living in Thailand because of the no regulations and, you know, maybe not the Western standard of some things. But I consider it a pro, because prices, up until recently, have been very low on most things, because they're not having to pay for all the regulations. Anyhow, enough about regulations. This is along my walk, another field, and over here you can see how they've been cutting the weeds along the berm. That's a very, very popular thing to do. You come along, especially if both sides of the berm are yours, you come along, you cut all the weeds, you rake them up, you put them in the blue mat or tarp. It's not even a tarp, it's more of a mesh. You see it out here, the blue mesh that unfolds. Put your weeds in there, and you carry it off to the barn and let the cows have it. That's the same mesh that is laid out on the road, all along the road here. And that's where the rice, once it's harvested from the field, gets put on the road and dried in the sun. So that's why you want to plan your harvest to when you think it's pretty darn close to the last good rain. Your rice is ripe. I mean, it's golden and it's bending over in some areas. So you know it's ready to be harvested. Anyhow, rice is not the only thing that's grown here. Like I said before in another video, we have sugarcane and we have tapioca. And those are big deal products for here. I don't know. This is usually a rice paddy, and maybe he just got a really late start because the rice is just starting to come up. There you go, that's what it looks like when the rice is just starting. You can see how fairly smooth the dirt is after going over it with the rotary and basically planting the seeds about an inch below the surface. All right, well, we've beaten that dead horse to death again. Hey. And so thanks for watching. I appreciate you very much. Please drop me a comment, like and subscribe. That really helps the channel out. Encourages me to do more. I've been on a bit of a hiatus and just getting back into it a little bit. we'll see what we can do. My other channel, Auto Auction Rehabs, is mostly about working on vehicles, and I've gotten myself into working more so on police vehicles than anything. They're all auction cars, and I'm going to rehab them. I'm going to make track car, drag car. I'm going to go to the tracks, have a little bit of fun before I'm too old to do it. It's something I've always wanted to do. That's why street racing in the 70s and 80s was such a big deal. I loved it. You know, in Mexico. Anyhow, thank you all for watching. I really appreciate you. Like and subscribe. We'll see you real soon again on the next one.